this video just to answer a question that a lot of people keep saying: is Shawn Porter hating on Errol Spence? And from looking at the whole situation, my answer is yes. And let me tell you why. The reason why Shawn Porter is hating on Errol Spence, because one, Kell Brook at the time when Shawn Porter held the belt, remember when he held the, I think it was the WBC belt, Kell Brook came from England and came over here and beat Shawn Porter and took the belt. Remember that? Convincingly beat him. Remember, Shawn was a mauler. He would maul you up. And Kell came over here and gave him that brownie, that chocolate brownie, what he call it? The chocolate brownie. Whooped Shawn Porter. And hurt him a couple times in that fight. And so look, he took Shawn Porter's belt, went back to England with it. Here it is. Fast forwarded. Errol Spence moves up the ranks. And remember, Errol Spence was on the Olympic team with Shawn Porter's father. And Shawn Porter's father, Kenny, raved about Errol Spence like he was his own son. So Shawn was jealous about that. But look, Errol moved up the ranks and he beat Bundu. Remember when he knocked Bundu out, who never been knocked out? Errol knocked him out and went and became the mandatory to fight for the Kell Brook, the belt that Shawn had. So look, Errol go over. He flies over to England and beat Kell Brook, detaches, breaks his face, and takes the belt back to Texas, nigga. That's why Shawn Porter don't like Errol. And then Errol outdid him in everything. When Shawn wanted to go to Olympics, he ain't get to go. Errol went. Yeah, so Shawn is jealous of this dude. So he gonna hate on him at every chance he get. That's why he said he ain't even in his top 3 fights of all. Nigga, you lying. Errol Spence knocked you down. You know how many people knocked you down? One, nigga. Adrian Broner was the only other nigga that ever knocked you down. So how can you say Errol Spence wasn't the toughest fight that you had? Remember, that's why because he hating. He hating on Errol, took the belt that he had, beat him. Look, and then look, he got a chance to fight for it. Look, y'all don't listen. Shawn Porter got a chance to fight for the belt that Errol went over to England and took from Kell Brook. Broke his face. I told y'all he broke his face. Triple G broke one of his other orbital bones. Errol broke the other one. And took the belt, brought it back. Then Shawn got an opportunity to fight for the belt that Kell Brook took from him. And then Errol knocked him down in the fight to seal the victory. Why you think, man, that hurt that boy, man? And then look, this is another reason why he hating. Because his father loved Errol Spence. Y'all need to go and do y'all research on Kenny Porter and Errol Spence relationship. Kenny Porter used to talk, man, he talked like Errol Spence was his son. I'm telling you. Kenny Porter loved Errol Spence. And then at the end of Shawn's career, I told y'all people, if y'all would listen to my other video, the message to Terrence Crawford, y'all would see what I'll be saying. Man, I'm telling y'all the truth, because this is truth revealed. People don't understand the truth because they don't see it. They don't have their third eye open. They don't have their eternal salvation sealed. It gives you discernment. And I'm telling you why Shawn Porter don't like him, man. He don't like the dude because, first of all, Earl is humble. You know, Shawn tries to be humble, but he tries to be flashy with his outfits and all that. Earl ain't none of that, you know what I'm saying, until he got with Adrian Broner and Javante and he started buying all the jewelry and he had the, you know, the big man down chain and all of that. He started doing all that, buying Ferrari. Earl wasn't all that. He's a farm dude from the inside for real. But he wanted to fit in, so he was hanging with all of these dudes, drinking and getting out of whack. That's why I said, Earl, if Terrence would have fought you back then before you fought Shawn, Terrence would have chopped you up, dog, because you wasn't focused. And I was telling folks, I said a focused Errol Spence Jr. cannot be beat. I'm telling you, if he's focused and he got Blu-ray, because I always say Blu-ray was the man, because in the 9 fights that Blu-ray was with him, Earl knocked out all 9 opponents. So that tell you that strength and conditioning coach is the man that you need to keep. I don't care what type of gripes y'all got. I don't care what type, man, pay him his money. You know what I'm saying? Because the proof is in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? And if you get results, what they say, the wheel is round and it rolls. We don't need a new wheel. You understand? So I'm just saying, man, and he a brother too. That's why I said, if you disagree, you can agree to disagree if you must, but let's work together because we're getting results. And like I always say, there's 2 things in the world, excuses and results. And excuses don't count. And with Blu-ray, the boy was knocking out everybody. He was knocking out everybody. So I'm just saying, if Earl, because I told everybody, I said, if Earl stay focused, because this is right before he started hanging with Adrian Broner. Because once he started hanging with Adrian Broner, you could see his fight output, everything just started to me. He was blowing up after the fights, getting like 190 pounds, almost 200 pounds coming down to one. Man, that's a lot of weight you taking off your body and going through that. And then you got to fight another man that really training hard and all. That's why, because the fight against Shawn Porter, that wasn't the real Errol. I don't care what nobody say. Like, that was an Errol that was induced with liquor and drink and partying. That wasn't Earl, man. I'm telling y'all, because I understood his journey, and I understood, where he went and how, looking at the films and everything, you could see that when he fought Shawn Porter, he was drinking. You could tell he wasn't in the gym like he was when he started his career. But now, after this accident, the detached retina and all of that, and the Ugas fight, man, and now he live on a farm, he away from the city and all that stuff. Man, that boy like Job. That boy got all the stuff the devil took from him. I'm telling you. That's why I said, I was telling Terrence, man, he should have got him. He should have got EJ when he was in the streets drinking with Adrian Broner and Javante Davis. Yeah, they were at the clubs and they had wine and everything, man. He should have got him then, Terrence. You missed your opportunity. I'm telling you, you messing with a killer now. You messing with a focused killer. I'm talking about. And don't get me wrong, Terrence like that. Don't get me wrong, Terrence. I would never say Terrence is not like. I'm just saying, you wait. You're too light, brother. You're too light. Because if he could do that to a true 147-pounder in Kell Brook and break his face, and then do another one with a true 147-pounder in Dennis Ugas and break his face and ribs, and come on, man. Come on. Terrence, you came from 130. See, I was telling folks, listen to me now. I was telling folks that if Earl wanted to, he could have broke Mikey Garcia. Wait a minute. The Mexicans, they're a little bit more tougher. You know what I'm saying? They got to go through barbed wire and all. They're a little bit tougher. But he did a thing. I know Mikey was in the hospital. They won't tell you the truth. I know he got some IVs up in him. I'm sure he was blind for like 3 days, like Paul was on that road to Damascus, because he ran into Jesus that day. Mikey Garcia got spotted. Oh my goodness. He said, "Who art thou, O Lord?" He started speaking in Mexican or something, man. Earl put a thing on Mikey Garcia. But I just was disappointed in Sugar Ray. I really was. My Palmer Park brother, Sugar Ray Leonard, he disappointed me. He went with the Mexican. But Jesus told us in the last days, kingdom gonna rise against kingdom, and nation gonna rise against nation. Show you, nation gonna be against nation. Nationality gonna be against nationality. So Negroes gonna be against Negroes, which we already are. We killing one another in every rap song. We 22 G's. We gonna kill a nigga that look good. As long as you a nigga, we gonna kill you. Nigga, we gotta kill you niggas. Yeah, that's the plight of the nigga today. Nationality, we going with everybody else except our own. Yeah, that's us. We'll let a blood from Indonesia kill another brother. Yeah, we'll let a blood from Alaska. Long as you're blood, you Alaskan blood. Let's kill these niggas. that's us, man. But that's another topic. But I'm just saying, that's why Shawn Porter is jealous of Errol Spence, because everybody loves Earl. ain't that a song? I mean, a TV series. Everybody love Earl, or is that Everybody Love Chris? What I thought it was Everybody Love Earl, ain't it? But anyway, and then Earl bashed the man and said he couldn't sell out a family dinner. God. So Shawn, I just tell you to get over it, brother, because you shouldn't have retired after your father stepped up on the ropes and threw in the towel. You mauled too many niggas to retire on a. Your father threw in the towel on you. I heard you ain't spoke to him since. And I know why, nigga, because you would go out on your shield. Shawn Porter was a mauling nigga. He would maul you up. And then his father did the despicable me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. He threw in the towel on his son, who is, in the eyes of the fans, Shawn Porter was a warrior. That's what we were saying. Terrence Crawford ain't proved himself unless he fought Shawn Porter. That's what everybody was saying. Man, Terrence Crawford, yeah, he did everything at 140. He was undisputed, all that, until he fights Shawn Porter. Even when Shawn didn't have a belt. Everybody said that Shawn, because Shawn was the gatekeeper. They said if Terrence do whatever he do, but I like to say it like this. After the wars that Shawn went through, just like Terrence, he was catching everybody after they. See, people don't understand when a fighter hasn't lost a fight, his aggressive, his confidence is on a different level when he's never lost. That's why I ain't understand why people was talking about Floyd. Like, man, Floyd was beating these dudes when they had 0 on their end. Ricky Hatton was like 42-0 when he, or 39-0 when he fought Floyd. And whatever Manny Pacquiao did, he didn't fight the confident Ricky Hatton that Floyd did. That's why people don't understand boxing. They're not pugilists like myself. They don't understand boxing, man, because you gotta know when you're fighting somebody that's been broken down. Like Terrence got a broken down Kell Brook. Triple G broke one of his orbital bones. Errol Spence broke the other one. So he's a shell of a man. He had 2 broke. His face was broken, y'all. Listen. And then boxing, you're going to get hit in your face. So if you got your face broke, do you think your face is going to be stronger every time you fight a person after it heals? No, it's going to be weaker. So he had both of his orbital bone. Y'all don't understand like, that's why he didn't know what happened. Because his orbital bones was broken. Remember in the fight when he fought Terrence Crawford? He if you watch it again, in the middle, because I'm very detailed, I'm very observant, because see, my discernment is high from the Lord. You watch it again though, he says, what happened? Because your orbital bone, both of them was broken, brother. So when the tissue in your face is softer, so when you get hit, it's gonna shake your brain easier. Your skull is less penetrable. You can easily penetrate it because it's been broken. You understand? You got screws in your face, man. So I'm telling you, man, y'all don't understand. These folks was getting the rust. Like Shawn Porter got knocked down by Adrian Broner. He was in a war with Errol Spence. Got knocked down. Terrence Crawford got the weak Shawn Porter. He didn't get no Shawn Porter when Shawn Porter was fighting like Keith Thurman. Even Keith Thurman rocked Shawn Porter. Danny Garcia. Man, he got a tail in Shawn Porter. That's why he knocked Shawn. And everybody's like, oh man, no, y'all got a tail in. That's why his father stepped up on the rope, because he said Shawn Porter didn't even train hard enough. So y'all got to understand, Earl, what Terrence Crawford did to Shawn Porter, if Earl would have fought that Shawn Porter, Earl would have hurt Shawn Porter way earlier, because Shawn Porter, his father said he didn't train, which Shawn shouldn't have retired after that, because it just leaves a stain in the minds of his fans because he was a mauler. So I said, nah, man, I'm not retiring. I wouldn't have spoke to my father. I'd have mauled me another nigga and then retired. You know what I'm saying? Or with a win. I ain't gonna retire. Who gonna retire on the bottom losing? No, that's what NBA players do. No, nigga, you in a sport that's controlled by yourself, dog. You are like a tennis player. This ain't no doubles. This is you by your. You don't retire on a loss. No, you can't. The last thing you tell your children is you got knocked down and beat up by a nigga and your father stood on the ropes and everybody know that you was a mark. No, Shawn, no, dog, unretire. Do a Floyd Mayweather, unretire, nigga. You got to maul you one last nigga, man. You got to put it in the minds of your fans, dog, that you are a mauler. You a warrior. You letting us down by talking about Earl and talking about he ain't one of your hardest fights and all that. We see the hate. Nigga, you can make it all right. All you got to do is unretire, maul you a nigga, and then retire. Go out with a win. Because this is a single man sport. This is not a sport where you on a team where your team is just horrible and you was one of the best players and you had to retire on, you know, being a Stephon Marbury or something like that. Because Stephon was like that. But he had to retire because he was with the Knicks and stuff. And they wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? He went over to China and started getting that yen. But you retired and became an analyst with a L on your record, dog. No, dog. You showing who you are, dog. If you say you from Cleveland, nigga. Yeah, you showing how them Cleveland niggas do, cause LeBron left. But he went back and got him a championship, Shawn. That's all I'm saying. See, LeBron left, took his talents to Miami. Got him 3 championships down there and then, or 2. I don't know how many guys, ain't really. But then he went back to his place, man, and got them a championship, dog. That's Shawn, unretired, dog. You got to maul you a Negro, dog. You can't keep hating on Earl and everybody see the hate that you got. And it's really because you lost at the end of your career and you retired. You gonna go into the Hall of Fame because you mauled you a lot of niggas. You did. You mauled and made the competition hard. And that's why we would put you up on the pedestal and say, you know, people got to go through you in order to prove themselves. So, but you went out on the bottom, dog. You went out with your father, dog, on the ropes, throwing the white towel saying no more. Don't beat him no more, Terrence. I knew you would win because you are a true warrior. My son, he didn't even train. He wasn't training hard enough. He dogged you, dog. No, you can't go out like that. No, dog, no. Your name is Shawn. Like mine. My name is Shawn too. We don't do that. We don't quit. Quitters never win and winners never quit. You quit, nigga. Well, you didn't really quit. Your father quit. And you can't let your father define your career. That nigga wasn't in there mauling people like you did because it was you. He just was a trainer. He just was a beneficiary to your bountiful abundance that you provided by mauling niggas. But guess what? You went out on the bottom, dog. You went out on the bottom, dog. You retired after you got beat up. Come on, dog. Your name's Shawn, man. Get back in there and maul you somebody, dog, so we can remember the last time that you was in the ring. Because what we remember in you is getting beat down, punching the daggone ring with your fist, mad because Terrence just knocked you down. You got to go out on a stretcher, dog. If you get back in there and you can't maul a dude and they better move, get out the way. We got to get him. Shawn, brace your neck. Put the clamp on him. We got to hear that or your career was, nah, I can't say that. You had a good career, dog. You mauled you a lot of dudes, but I'm just saying, dog. This is all I got, man. I'm gonna do 20 minutes. I ain't gonna do too long because people attention span, but That's the reason why you upset, dog. That's the reason why Shawn Porter is jealous of Errol Spence. And we can hear it in his words, his tone, his demeanor, his mannerisms, his eye movement, his French cuff shirts. We can see that you wanted to be that pay-per-view star, but you couldn't sell a family dinner because you was bitter. See, people don't like bitter food. When something is bitter, you're like, no, who made this? No, take it back to, that's when people bitter. They give off that energy. And people don't want to see bitter folk, because bitter folk ain't got nothing to say. Because they talk about everybody, but they don't got nothing to say. See, substance is what we need from you, Shawn. And we need you to get back in there and maul you somebody. Maul you one more person, and then you can retire. And depending on how you look in that fight too. Because if your father said you ain't been training, you got to get you a new trainer. You could cut him off. I mean, you can give him a little percentage because that is daddy. You know, respect thy fathers and mothers, and thy life shall be long, what the Bible say. Yeah, so respect him. Give him 2%, not that 20%, because he stood on the top rope and waved that white towel. We don't do that. Not named Shawn. No, your name's Shawn. We don't wave the white towel. We don't surrender. You know, we fight to the stretcher. We're not dying, because we got too much skill to die in there, but we're fighting, and if he get lucky and like knock you down or something, or catch you with we fighting to the stretcher where we move, we gotta go. You know that we fighting to that, but other than that, you got to get rid of daddy, go to church. Matter of fact, join your enemy. Go to Dirk James is one of the top trainers in the world. He just don't get the credit because of his melanin skin, but Dirk James is one of the top minds because he was a former boxer. People don't understand. The best coaches that they humble themselves, they're the best coaches, man. When the former boxers is what I'm saying. Most analysts, these Stephen A. Smiths ain't never did nothing, but they can talk about everybody and talk bad about everybody, and people will believe what they say, never did nothing in the arena that they talking about. You know, that's why Joe Rogan made him look dumb. You know what I'm saying? Because how can you talk about MMA, talking about what it do? Remember Joe Rogan talking about Stephen A. Smith? So that's what I'm saying, Shawn. You got to understand that you are a pugilist of the sport, and we understand that. But the way that you went out, you got to make that up. Wipe that off, unretire, and that will cure bitterness. Get you a new trainer. Go to Dirk, humble yourself. And say, Dirk, look, man, I know we had some differences and all of that during our press conferences and all that leading up to the fight. I called you some horrible things, when I had on my Mac outfit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, look, dog, I'm trying to make myself go out with raised hands, and I need your help. Let's go humbly. And then you won't be hated, you won't be bitter, and then because Dirk gonna receive you, because Dirk already a humble dude. Dirk, look, man, I just want what they want. They always say, what you think he gonna do? Look, Dirk say, man, look, I don't care. Look, this is not for me. I just want what they want. So that's what you know a person is humble. He want the best for you because he want what you want, Shawn. Your father ain't want what you wanted, because you would have went out on your back, dog. We know that. So unretire, get back in there, and that'll cure bitterness, dog. You won't hate on Errol Spence. Trust me. Maul you one more person, and that will relieve everything. And then you can go back to your father and talk to him. He might not talk to you because you fired him. You should have fired Kenny a long time ago. Kenny was letting you know when he was dealing with the little youngins, and he was trying to be hip hop with the earrings and the hats. And nah, dog. Kenny you should have. I mean, he your father. Give him some brunt. What I'm saying is fire him from his position, but allow him to still eat, because that's your father. He created you. You know what I'm saying? He the one that gave you what you, and obviously he did give you some type of skill, but if you would have got with somebody like Dirk a long time ago, Shawn, you would have been a pay-per-view star, because you got what it take, because your heart, man, you got good heart. But Kenny stood up on that top rope, man, and threw out that white towel, man. We ain't never seen nothing like that from you. So don't unretire, Shawn. That's the reason why Shawn Porter is jealous of Errol Spence. Everything that I said, that's the reason why. And I love you, Shawn, because first of all, your name is Shawn, and you a Negro like me. But you gotta understand that bitterness will always be there until you unretire and maul you somebody. Because once you get all of that anger and everything, that resentment and all of the stuff from Errol Spence out of you in the ring, it will cure you, brother. It will cure you. Your testosterone levels will go up. Your finances will go up. So many things will go up in your life, man, because of bitterness. Once you hold that bitterness, it doesn't allow your cup to runneth over. See, because you're putting a lid on it, and you got a straw, and see, nothing else can come in there. But once you open, you can keep pouring, and the cup runneth over, and that's where the blessings of the Lord is. You know what I'm saying? In Jesus' name, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all take care. And Shawn, like I said, man, curing bitterness is get back in there, unretire, and mauling you somebody. Amen. Amen. Y'all take care, man, and be safe out here in Jesus' name.